What's going on, everybody? Rob here, aka Trev2323, TRV2323. Subscribe, like, and share. I'm just laughing my butt off right now. Let me get a shot of this Craftsman or Yard Machine. Yard Machine, 4.5 horsepower, 21-inch clearing width. Snowblower, snow thrower, snowblower, snow thrower, however you want to say it. It got an electric start. The electric start does not work, okay? I had it outside, I put gas in it, I yanked the crap out of it yesterday, and oh my god, in the garage it would not start, okay? This right here is stuck, the cable, the throttle, but the good thing is it's stuck on, so it's always spinning. So I put it in the basement to put it in the YouTube studio with the lights at and everything, and I was gonna work on it today. I pulled the cord one time and the damn thing started right now. So it's warmer in here, so now I know I'm going to store it in here because with the electric start not working, if I pull it, I know it's going to start. But I'm going to take a look at this right here to see why this is stuck in the on position, because it does make it harder to start. And also, if you look at this right here with the carburetor, this isn't turning anything. This is just hanging in there, so we'll figure out what's going on with that. So let's take off the top cover right now. Take off all these bolts to get this top cover off, and then we'll go from there. Alright, these ones right on the top, bam, bam, bam. These are 8mm right here. Alright, these ones on the side, looks like these two are holding it. These are 10mm right here. So I'm going to take these 10mm off right here. This one's not holding it on, so this one and this one would be. And then we'll see if I can get it off from there. This looks like there's one 10mm on this side over here also. Alright, so it was 8mm on the side after on this side, and there's 3 8mm on the front. And then you gotta take off. Hilarious that I couldn't get this, man. I tried and tried and tried to get this started outside, and I could not get this thing started at all. I let it sit in here overnight and started right up. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, this gotta come out because of the clutch thing right here. It's funny underneath there, all you see is a. I'll straighten this back. Let me show you what we got here. Here's the gas tank with one hose coming down to the engine. The electric start is actually a pretty big electric start. That's the electric start right there. That's the key that comes in on the electric start. Pushes that in to start. Here's the wire for the electric start. So we know that's not working right now. Let's find the cord. Here's the cord that runs on the bottom. So this isn't working right now, so I'm going to lift this up onto the table so we don't got to work on it bending down. Alright, so since I got this up, following this around right here, this comes into inside of here from underneath. So I'm going to take this off anyways. And this is going to be the 10mm. And then I'm going to take this off right here so you can get a look at what's going on with this right here. Alright, so I unbolted this. This is all 10mm. You see that's actually broken right there already. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, there's one all the way down in here. The other 10mm was way down by the tire right here. This is actually kind of heavy. And this is where the cable goes to right here. So this is what's stuck right here. But the good thing is it's stuck down. So with the down, it's putting tension on this right here. And then when it lets loose, it takes the tension off of this and it just lets it spin. So this right here is a little bit cracked, so we're going to put some JB weld on that. But this doesn't move at all. So now it just moved. This is how it's supposed to be able to move, but it got stuck down for some reason. And it was better that it was stuck down because it was moving, but now that I just loosened it, Let's put it up here, put this back in place, and then if it actually does work, we can actually JB weld it, and then it'll stay in place. But this actually goes under one and then out. I'm sorry, you couldn't see that one. It goes in one and then out, then up. We could JB weld it just like that if it does work. So when we pull the handle back, that's what causes tension on that. Then you let it go, and this spring is the one that's supposed to have it spring up. So this spring right here really isn't working. This one right here, see, bring it back on there, puts tension on that to spin it. But then when you let this up, it's not, this ain't coming up enough right here. So what we're gonna do is I'm not gonna take this off. I'm gonna WD-40 in here, put some WD-40 in there, and then this right here, we're gonna go ahead and JB weld that. The thing I switched to was 100% silicone slide, because I switched to this because I found out actually working on a refrigerator that the distillates, if you got nylon, the distillates in WD-40 wear out the nylon, and this right here doesn't freeze, or it takes a lot to freeze, and it actually does lubricate. So I was going to use this right here to put inside here. That's actually probably just enough to soak in there. Put some in here also, and then just work this up and down right here, kind of. You see, I see that I sprayed that in there, it did loosen up a whole lot. And this is meant to disengage it, so there it goes, see? It disengaged it. There it goes, and it puts pressure on the front. Alright, so now I gotta get this right here. So this is working fine now. All I did was lube that up with some silicone and worked it in there. That works fine. I can't find my JB weld for this right here, but believe it or not, I'm going to take long strips of Gorilla Tape, and I'm just going to Gorilla Tape this right now. You can order this cable, so eventually I'll order the cable, but for right now, we got snow coming this Saturday night, so I'm going to actually rip this in long strips, maybe about a foot long, and I can do 4 or 5 strips from this is what I'm going to do. I heated it up and I got it through there. And back it out some. I did get it through there. And then I cracked it off the back side. So it's stuck in there now. I mean, it's still a little warm. It's stuck in there now. But that was a disaster. So out of all that heating it up and everything, I probably still am going to put some Gorilla Tape all the way around it. Alright, I just got my Gorilla Tape right here. And I just do little strips in the Gorilla Tape. Aha! A little string of tape. Alright, I just got that wrapped around there, and I'm going to do one coming around the other way like this. Look at it. That's not going anywhere. I got the lead piece all the way through, so that's working now. One part down. Gotta figure out what's going on with this now. Alright, so all that's taken off. So this looks like it's bent. Anyways, look at it. It's all bent, and there's actually nothing that this is attached to. So this is... Oh, you see it sprung back? So it's attached to something in here. Let's figure this one out. Okay, I see what they got going on here. If you look, that's a spring. This is a spring right here. That's a spring. And what this is the carburetor is open right now. I'm trying to get a shot. See, that's the carburetor. All the way over here, the carburetor is almost closed to closed. Trying to get. Then you go over here, and it starts to open the carburetor. So the carburetor is full throttle open over here, and it kind of springs to open, but then it hits the spring and it starts to close, and this is all the way closed. So if you can't start it, this is covered right here facing downward. So that's where you would spray your starter fluid right there to try to get this started, and have it all the way over here full throttle to have it start, like open maybe to that one. Spray some starter fluid in it, and this right here is closed, but believe it or not, this one runs with it almost all the way closed, and this one runs fine like this. But I was wondering if it was missing a spring or nothing, and apparently it's not missing any spring, because this spring right here is all it sits against. That is insane. Now if you look all the way back in there, there's another spring right here, and that controls, I would venture to say, the gas thingy right here. It connects all the way to the bottom in the motor right here, and there's another spring on there, but you have no control over this one right here. This one is just going by the engine itself. The only one you have control over is, the only one you control on this one is the butterfly right here. Okay, now this right here, here's your cylinder head right here on the other side, and there's a spark plug wire right on the top of here, right on top of your cylinder head. I popped this out before, I forgot how I did it, but the spark plug sits in here, and that's right on top of the cylinder head right there. So what I'm probably gonna do is, look at, that's a Tuck motor, the starter. Alright, let's go do some research on this part number right here. I looked up the part number for this thing. Brand new, the cheapest I found was $178 for this starter right here. You can find them used on eBay for 60 bucks. But why would I want to buy a used one when this one went out right here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back on, leave that electric starter alone. Instead of my snow thrower, snow blower, whatever you want to call it, staying in the garage, it will now stay warm in my basement. So this way when I start it, it is warm and it'll be easier to start. I also know now that this is the intake. Don't look for any air filter. This is the intake right here. So this right here is where you will spray your starter fluid in. If you want your butterfly all the way open, you put it that side. If you want it closed, you put it that side. If you want it in the middle, you put it in the middle. All this thing right here is closed, controls your butterfly. There's no spring, no nothing. Well, little spring right here, just to, goes like that. That's all it does. All right. So the starter is $178, $200 if you want it. I'm gonna put it back together and pull the string and show you. Well, I had it up. I noticed all this nylon and plastic jammed in the side of it, so I'm gonna take this off anyways. But now before I start working on that, I am gonna disconnect the spark plug wire, because you don't want to turn that auger and have that connected, because you don't want to chance this thing starting. But look at all that was in there, so that's might explain why the cable popped on this for right here and got stuck, because all this is throwing it off and causing more problems for it to spin. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of here while I'm here. Epiphany, that's why it wouldn't start when I was trying to pull it by hand, because the auger was engaged and this wasn't letting it spin fast enough because it was plugged up right here. So that's why when I was trying to start it by hand, well, that and the cold weather, but this could be one reason why it wasn't starting, because this has so much pressure in here not allowing it to spin, and the auger was stuck on engaged. So when I was pulling it, this was actually spinning, or trying to spin, when I was pulling it by hand. Although when I came down here right now, I pulled it by hand, it did start, but it was warmer also. Okay, so I messed with this for about 2 or 3 hours. I took it all about, tore it all down. It's winter time coming, so always have yourself some premium starter fluid. So with this yard machine, if you're having trouble starting it, you spray the starting fluid in here with this all the way to the left, and you can spray your starting fluid in here, and that'll get it into the carburetor. I would probably try to start it in the middle after I put the starting fluid in. You primer it 3 to 5 times. You turn your key clockwise. So I didn't primer this one, but come to find out, the problem was that there was, for one, it was in the garage, so it was really cold. I came downstairs and started no problem when I left it down here overnight. Pretty crazy, but there was a whole bunch of plastic bag and nylon stuck in the auger, which the cable was stuck with the auger constantly in the on position. So no matter what, me actually trying to pull it in the cold, there was pressure holding the auger from spinning freely. So now the auger opens and closes and stops like it should. So I got this open, so it should be able to start up. Well, let me try primering it again. Or no, let me try putting this all the way to the right. Nothing. Now I'm going to try to primer it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ready for the winter. Now this is a 50-to-1 gas mixture. I always say put premium gas in your small engines. The carburetor is smaller than everything. Put premium gas in them. And before you start snow blowing, let it warm up a little bit. At least give it a minute to run, 2 minutes to run. 1 minute is long enough, really. I would say 30 seconds, really, but let it warm up some before you just go. But like I said, the problem on this one was the plastic bag was stuck in the auger, which broke the cable, which this one, it wouldn't spin freely. Now, the electric start is broken on this one, but I'm not going to replace it. It's too much money. Either way, I'm going to put it back together. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.